Typhus?
Patient has no hair. Probably means no lice.
Leishmaniasis?
No fever. Why couldn't they take care of him at a military hospital?
I think because they wanted to annoy you. Any other conscientious objectors?
So I'm the only one who has a problem with someone whose duty is to protect our country blowing...
Blowing the whistle is honorable precisely because it's not dutiful. Sorry, you said blowing. Maybe you're going somewhere else with that.
He's a coward.
He risked his freedom.
He anonymously downloaded a computer file from a secure page and uploaded it to an unsecure page. Not exactly storming Omaha Beach. EEG was normal because he was faking it to avoid going to prison.
Let's treat him with not medicine.
Lateral review looks good. If you have such a negative opinion of the Army, why did you enlist?
I needed to find out what really happened to my dad. There were 2 redacted pages in his service record. Going into intelligence was the quickest way to up my security clearance.
Then why would you leak that video?
Part of my job was to grab a cup of tea with the locals. And the FaceTime is supposed to make them more likely to trust us with sensitive information. But they became my friends. If there was another attack, civilian casualties, and I had done nothing...
Your spleen, it's enlarged. We should do a biopsy and look for any...
He's got urinary bleeding.
Not just urinary.
Call the blood bank.
What's happening to him?
Spleen must be sequestering platelets.
He's bleeding too fast to wait for a platelet infusion.
You need to squeeze his spleen to release the ones he's got. Tell the OR we're on our way.
Pressure's dropping.
What's there?
BP 70 over 40, and he's hypovolemic.
Pressure's rising.
And he's starting to clot.
Good news is we can control the bleeding. Bad news is, bleeding's not the problem. Unless spleens are supposed to be lumpy.
Who are you?
Well, considering the only people allowed in this room are your doctors and your family, I'm your long-lost cousin, Ralph. So glad to finally meet you.
Are you going to check on me?
Just give me at least 2 hours until we can tell if the heparin's working.
Then what are you doing here?
You know, my father taught me that it's dishonorable to interrupt someone when they're reading.
Honor's not a punchline. Get out of my room.
So was it worth it? Best case, you spend the rest of your life in Leavenworth. Worst case, you spend the rest of your life here.
Justice for 34 deaths outweighs anything the Army can do to me.
They got justice? Do they know that? What if only 10 people had died? 4?
Even one civilian death.
What if they just maimed a few guys? Would that have been worth it?
My job was to log that tape. Get all the details in the official record. After the 10th time of watching it, I stopped trying to convince myself that the shovel could have been mistaken for a gun. Because all I could see were the victims' faces. All I was doing was trying to read that kid's lips to make out his last words. I couldn't sleep. Couldn't eat. Think I like the cue ball look? My hair turned gray in 3 days. My body was telling me I had to do whatever I could to make sure that something like this never happened again.
Your hair turned gray in 3 days. To be continued. I need to brilliantly cure a patient. No hair usually means no lice. What we didn't account for was that it wasn't your hair. Tea was not the only thing that your Afghani neighbors shared with you. Sure, they were generous enough to let you sit on their furniture, which was infested with rat lice. You have typhus. Caused the vasculitis and explains all your other symptoms. But here's where it gets interesting. One of those symptoms, a lawyer might argue, was leaking the tape. There's psychiatric issues associated with typhus. Change your mind, plead not guilty. You've got a case.
I'd be undermining everything I've been trying to do.
You did what you thought you had to do. Going to jail proves nothing.
It proves I still have my honor.
You're not doing this for honor. You're doing this to please your father.